What's up? You got something?
This is the video. It's called Kumburgaz.
This is without a doubt the most remarkable piece of footage she shot.
It was when the aliens showed up.
Hello and welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. It's Interstellar Discussions, mate. Coming back again, starting with some old but goldies, mate. We're going to go revisit the past a little bit, see some of the funky old footage that maybe not many people kind of remember or know about. And some of the best footage that we do see in modern day still comes from the past, baby. So we're going to go back, have a check out and see what's going on, and we're going to kind of review some footage. Now, without further ado, please make sure you click that subscribe button to stay up to date with everything that's happening on this channel. So let's get started, bruv. Now, the first piece of footage I'm going to show you is the Kumburgaz incident. That's a funny name, I know, but this occurred during the periods of 2007 and 2009 of a strange thing happening in the skies of Turkey. Let's read a little bit about it. So the location, over the seas of Marmara near Kumburgaz. Primary witness, night watchman Murat and Yalman, who recorded over 25 video clips of his mini DV camera, often using 200x zoom lens. Local residents and reportedly UFO researcher Roger Lear in 2009 also witnessed this as well. What was filmed? A disc or oval-shaped metallic object, sometimes with reddish or orange lights. Some clips show up to 4 lights hovering low in the sky. In select frames, silhouette-like shapes resembling humanoid figures inside the craft are claimed. Let's check it out. Now we're going to start with 2007, mate, when this all began. And we're just going to see how it progresses, because some of the footage that is coming out of this, mate, kind of funky. Let's look. So it starts off as this like semicircular thing in the sky, or more so just like lights. There's something about camcorders, mate, back in the day where they could just pick up stuff so much better than phones and things of that nature that we have today. So I don't know, I'm ordering myself a camcorder, man, because all the best footage seems to be kind of picked up by it, and film cameras. This is stabilised as well, so it's probably why you're seeing all of the jittering. So this object is actively morphing as well, like it changes multiple shapes, dimensions, and kind of looks different as well. So we've had footage in June, July, now August. Check the dates down below. Look. It's the same shape formation. There was people saying before as well, they're like, oh no, it's a raindrop on the lens and it's kind of morphing and changing whatever this is in the sky, mate. No, it's not. If this is a raindrop on the lens, mate, get a grip immediately. So this is again seen on August 7th. I'm just going to skip through kind of the different periods where they are seeing this object. It was seen on August 10th and 12th. Again, this thing just reoccurring, man. Whatever they're doing up in that sort of sky area, I don't know. Some of these, some of the locals maybe. Right now, we're going to 2008 where this was seen again. Now look at the stark difference as well, man. The high definition display of what's possibly sitting in a cockpit. And we're going to zoom in and kind of inspect. Hold on to your pantaloons, mate. Again, same craft, almost a year later. This time, it has a cockpit. Look at this. You can almost make out a couple of fellas sat in a cockpit. Or fellettes, whatever you are, ladies. And it like morphs as well, mate. It like changes. So there's like almost some sort of kind of like, I don't know, snake skin technology that these things have, where they can kind of change their perception. Or whether this is down to individuals like, well, every individual person seeing something different. I don't know, man, whether that's a consciousness thing or something more. Look, it's got like 2 little dots on the outside. Look at it! Wow. And again, this sort of shape of UFO we see quite a lot. People report this kind of semicircular shape as well. So this isn't something that we have never seen before. And it's changed. Look, where's the cockpit gone? They got shy? They closed the window? You know? Mr. Arcturian had a migraine, so he was like, yeah, sorry, Gleep Glorp, close that window, bruv. Now let's kind of zoom in a little bit and we're going to enhance it and see who sat in the cockpit potentially. Right, you're telling me this is a raindrop stuck on the lens? No. Look at this, mate. 2 figures sat in the cockpit. Look, Zoomed right in, you know, high definition. Two little eyes there. There's like a little mouth, you know. This kind of bulbous head for all those brains that they store. Look at this, man. Now that is as humanoid as it gets, in my opinion, mate. I know, like... So this incident, again, just kind of carried on through from the periods of 2007 to 2009, and it was a reoccurring thing as well. So, and again, this shape has been reported all over the world, multiple locations throughout the years as well. So whatever these things are, backwards engineered, different type beings from a different planet or universe, multiple dimensions, mate, I don't know. Kumburgaz, Turkey. Crazy. Now this next piece of footage was captured in 2004, mate. The good old 2004. Brilliant time to be alive, alright? By the Californian Long Island Beach Police Force of a strange flaming object in the sky that darts off into the distance, mate. Check this out. Love myself some helicopter infrared footage, mate. Quite a few good pieces of footage come out of this. So we've got like an orb in the sky, chilling beans, mate. Kind of looks like a traffic cone and it starts leaking. What is going on there? Take bro to the toilet, mate, if he's busting. But again, this strange type of like fluid stuff dripping from these UFOs that again have been reported in many close encounters and other UFO cases of people finding dripping liquids and strange metallic residue that have been left behind. I don't know, mate. But from the start of this, people were saying, it's a Chinese lantern, mate. Right, explain why a Chinese lantern just up and decides to just hit Mach whatever the frick. Alright, that is not a Chinese lantern. Look at this. Like, I don't know what I would... Like, imagine what they were seeing with their bare eyes. I mean, it must have been just like a very bright object. And then obviously zooming onto this to see what's going on. And then they're seeing all this residue come off it. Look at it go, mate! He's like, oh damn, we forgot Aiden at school. Let's go, quick. Miriam, come on! Yeah, look, there's the clouds in the background. Yeah, Chinese lantern, mate. Yeah, 100%. The epidemic of Chinese lanterns continue to modern day. Now, some of these objects that seem to kind of drip metallic sort of liquid or kind of plasma liquid or something, when they are stationary, it tends to kind of look like they heat up. So, is there some sort of propulsion or matter they're using which is just heating up the object itself when it's stationary, so they have to continue to move in order to not vaporize or evaporate or something? Bit of food for thought, potentially. This piece of footage I'm about to show you comes from 2012 from South Korea, and there's going to be kind of a weird horseshoe shaped UFO flying through the sky at some speeds. Now, I'm going to show you some photos and other pieces of footage of the same sort of relation to this UFO sighting in question. So let's check it out. It's kind of funky. Look at this thing, mate. Camcorder. As it turns, it looks like the Millennium Falcon, mate. What is going on? And when it gets closer, it gets even weirder. Incredible. And it has that horseshoe shape. And I think there's some of this sort of weird UFO shapes were captured by NASA as well on the Tether experiment. What is going on there? Look at it. It's like that. Crazy. A rubber ring from a swimming pool taking flight in an air current in space or the sky, mate? I don't know. So this image next to me here is strangely similar to an image of a UAP #23 just released by the Canadian government. This was the UAP shot down over the Yukon during the February Turkey shoot over North America following the Chinese spy balloon incident, right? Look at this thing. Is that the same object that was seen in South Korea? Now, I'm going to take you over to an experiment that NASA did in 1996 of the Tether, right? Look at this. So this was an experiment that NASA conducted in 1996 where they shot out a tether or put a tether out into space, and the purpose of this was to generate electricity in Earth's magnetic field, right? And then the tether eventually snapped and the experiment failed, but there was about 5 hours worth of footage that was captured during this strange, anomalous things and stuff that were happening in and around the tether in question, right? Now, Pay attention to some of the shapes of these weird objects. Does this represent the South Korean anomaly and the Yukon River anomaly as well that was shot down? Look at this. Let me skip it along. So you've got these kind of circular objects floating around this thing. By the way, this tether was really damn long as well. So, and it just kind of gets surrounded by these weird anomalous craft, plasmoidal beings, entities. I don't know. Look, things flashing, mate. Like, what is that about? And they all seem like these disc-shaped things. And there's a few things that we'll approach in a moment, which kind of has the same sort of horseshoe shape in question. Look, there's one flashing there. Another one here. They kind of got like a little bit of... A lot of them have this little lip bitten out on the edge of whatever it is. Oh, look at that, mate. They're like irises. Both sides, and it seems to morph. It kind of goes into that horse-shaped thing that we saw and does get reported around the world. What is going on in the atmosphere? I know there's kind of this speculation where lots of people are talking about that. Are there plasma-based conscious entities that live in the upper layers of the atmosphere that we don't really understand at the minute? And could this be part of the process of some of the stuff that we do see today that exhibit some intelligent behaviours? Because if you're thinking about it, if life has evolved in the deepest, darkest areas of our Earth, who's to say that life didn't evolve the opposite way up in the higher layers of the atmosphere? Because as well, we do find spores and things of that nature from fungus and mushrooms in the clouds that we see all around the world. Now, these spores in the clouds can actually help generate, I think, small amounts of electricity, correct me if I'm wrong, and they can pull water molecules together via the spores can actually do this. And then via doing this, it creates clouds, which then encourage rainfall, and then these spores then are ejected from the clouds in the raindrops, rained over thousands of miles wherever they've travelled, and then they then colonise the new land that these spores have travelled from their original location. So, crazy biology and nature in itself, but then there's to say, like, who's to say that something didn't evolve in the upper layers of the atmosphere? You know? Crazy. And scientists are even talking about right now that plasma may exhibit intelligent behaviours. You know, this is a major debate in the scientific community right now with all this plasmoidal stuff going on. I don't know, mate. What do you think? Now, in 1976, Concord was filming an ad for the Concorde jet in question. Now, whilst filming this ad, they saw a spherical UFO object floating and following alongside the craft itself, mate. Let's look at this and we'll try and compare it to some of the stuff we're seeing today. Here we go, mate. 1976, mate. Okay? Drones didn't exist then. Look at what is going on there, bro. Look at this thing floating up and down above the jet in question, okay? It's controlled, right? Which exhibits some sort of pilot behaviour there. This isn't just a Tesco bag in the wind. This is something more. And it's like actively down the side, shoots up and goes in a bit, bruv. 1976. Look again. Floating. Kind of looks like it inspects down the side, and Concords are not slow. These things were hauling buttocks at the time when they were made, man. These things go fast. So to keep up as well with the speed this thing is probably travelling, very impressive. Wow. And this was seen on the TV as well. Like, I think it was aired during that time period, and obviously people didn't know what to kind of think at the time. They were just like, oh, it's just a bit of grain on the TV, a bit of speck. But lo and behold, we have the boogosphere and the things like that happening today with all these kind of spherical weird UFOs floating in and around everywhere. Not something that we've only just been discovering today. These weird UFO anomalies have been happening since forever. Alright, 1994, over the ocean, man. Some sort of light seen hovering above the wide open space that the ocean is. Check this out. It is kind of funky. Look at this bad boy. Camcorders again. Right, to be fair, the speed that they're travelling and they're kind of recording, very impressive that they're not shaking everywhere like everyone else does when they're trying to film shit. It's crazy. Look at this, man. There's no sort of land mass over there. Pure open space ocean. Lights as far as the eye can see. Formations as well. Okay, this one's a little bit shaky right now. Okay, I take that back. Rose up. Incredible. So we got 3, 4, 3, and 2 again. So there's almost like kind of like flight formations, but the ocean is something that is major to do with the UFO phenomena of things flying in and out, USOs, unidentified submersible objects, which is the opposite of the UFO, right? So this isn't something, again, new that's happening. It's been reported for the longest time. Maybe there's sort of bases at the, you know, bottoms of the trenches of the ocean. I mean, if there's going to be places where UFOs probably would exist, I'd say volcanoes, the ocean. Alright? 2 best places that they could possibly create a base to exist that humans wouldn't really be able to venture and disturb. Oh mate, old TV show 1999 of a lady that submitted some footage that she saw some aliens standing in a window of a UFO craft. Let's look at this, mate. I love it.
This is without a doubt the most remarkable piece of footage she shot.
Was where the aliens showed up.
It's an image that appeared during one of Dorothy's routine sky watches just recently.
And then I noticed that
Window.
in a window were a couple of aliens in a window. So I said, oh dear, I can't see the light's so bright. I said, I need to film you. I said, can you turn the lights off the ship and I can film you? And they did. The lights go off. The aliens are there.
And believe it or not, like all of Dorothy's
bulbous
footage,
head.
this has been scientifically tested and declared genuine, or at least not faked.
There's not a lot that we know about it, but we know that it's real.
California UFO researchers Monica Ward and Peter Gattilla have thoroughly investigated the Dorothy Izat phenomenon and are now compiling a book of their findings.
There is a spiritual world and there is a non-spiritual world, a material world, and so forth. What Dorothy has done is she's bridged the gulf between the two.
Meanwhile, Dorothy simply calls her ET friends life beings, who she says come from diverse parts of the universe to impart a simple message to mankind.
I'd agree.
No one wants to listen to it because it's so simple and it's so easy. It's LOVE. Just love.
Love, baby! Make love, not war. Alright? Only if it's consensual. We're going to rewind and look at this again here. It does kind of look like, you know, like there's some sort of body here, much like the Kumburgaz. There's like a bit of an eyeball here, maybe. It looks like there's something stood next to it. So, again, something to do with the camcorder, which is really good at focusing on specifics on craft technology. I don't know what it is to do with camcorders and film cameras versus what we have today. Everything that we kind of shoot today with our mobile phones and stuff don't seem to cut it, mate. And there's some major things that she was saying in this as well, is the fact that, like, you know, she's communicating it, asking it, oh, please, can you help me see you better? And they actively respond by clearing themselves up or kind of open themselves up to you. So, I don't know. There's a lot of cases where people are talking to extraterrestrials or these sort of beings in question, and they respond via shining lights and kind of, you know, so manifesting what their ship or craft is, that you can see better. So, is it consciousness based? Is it love based? Is it just something more that we are not quite currently aware of? Let me know. 1983, there was a piece of footage which showcased a UFO crash landing, and it is kind of hard to kind of make out and see what's going on because of the quality, but it's whether this is a actual UFO crash, is this a prototype backwards engineered aircraft that's kind of crash landing, or is someone just drunk at the wheel, mate? But check it out. This thing comes in hard, hits the ground, flies up, crash lands again, and it blows up into multiple pieces. Look at it go, mate. Absolutely explodes. Man had like 15 beers and he was like, give me the aircraft keys immediately. It's kind of hard to kind of make out what's going on here because, again, because of the footage is quite grainy for the time period, but it does showcase something which looks like a disc possibly, or could this be some sort of rocket malfunction? I don't know. But there isn't a lot of information that kind of goes behind what we're seeing here. This is just kind of what we're given of a strange something happening. But the camera work is absolutely flawless. Smashes down again. I mean, this is travelling some speeds. So there you go. There's the location data, which is good. Bang. I don't know, man. It does look like it has a trail behind it. You know, producing some sort of energy. Is that propulsion, or is that the heat that we saw previously of the orb kind of dripping metallic substance? 80s, 90s, 2000s, even the 70s, man. That was like peak time for Real weird stuff happening. Now that just about does it for us today, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for watching, but there's so much footage we have to review and watch when it comes to the oldie woldy stuff, because there's so much gold sat there that not many people remember or know about. So we'll dive straight back through some more in some episodes coming. So yeah, thank you so much for being here. All right, make sure you like, subscribe, do all that lovely stuff, and I'll see you in the next one, mate. Peace.